What is up, ladies and gents? This is the weekly Square Gamers podcast where two dudes talk video games. And as always, I'm your host. I'm Legendary Mike. And today, as always, we got Pedro Maribal. What is up, brother?
What's up, man? It's been not really a hectic week actually.
It's been rather
Um,
it's been rather smooth this week, bro.
really chill. Broncos won in a nail biter, but Von Miller came through. Shout out to him. Shout out to your Jets for winning Thursday night, even though while we were talking, Revis Island was getting pillaged by a pirate with the last name of Goodman.
Just so you guys know, yeah, I did give him a bunch of shit a couple days later about that schmack talk. But
Schmack talk.
it's
That's how
schmack
you know
talk,
you're
bro.
from. That's how you know you're from up north, bro. You can't say smack. It's schmack.
Oh, shush. Okay, guys. It wasn't too crazy of a week, but we did have Tokyo Game Show last week. We didn't get to cover it much because it was mid-process. So we'll give you guys a quick run through. I'm not gonna give you all the games. I'm only gonna give you the games that everyone's talking about. We got Luigi's Mansion Arcade. Now this isn't too big, but it's basically Luigi's Mansion but arcade. There's no actual release date, but to what I've been reading and watching, they have them at Dave and Buster's. So if you have a Dave and Buster's next to you, make sure you go check it out. It is basically Luigi's Mansion for the Wii U, but on a big screen, and they give you a vacuum controller. Straight legit. They showed Death Stranded, the Kojima project. It looked good. Kind of excited for it because it's Kojima's first big game since the whole debacle. And that's supposed to be released possible 2019 or 2019. They showed some more no footage, or people like to call it Noah. I call it no footage, and it's supposed to be released on February 9th. People are calling this the Dark Souls clone, but to what I see, it looks a little, it has its, mechanic tweaks that make it different. Last Guardian, they showed a huge like gameplay footage kind of thing, well, playable, but it was from E3. It's coming out on December 6th. I don't like the look of this game. This game doesn't pique my eye like the predecessor did, Shadow of Colossus, which I don't know. Did you get to play that one, Pedro, way back in the day?
My brothers played both Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. I am not a fan of either one of those games. The Last Guardian looks like it should have come out in that era, which probably means it's going to be garbage.
Yeah. The one thing I did notice from the gameplay trailers they were showing was the tree dog. It seems like it has a mind of its own, which I'm totally cool for. That's awesome. I like the fact that they're adding that kind of randomness to a game. But it's a platformer. I don't know how well that's gonna work. We move on to Tekken 7. They showed gameplay of Tekken 7.
What'd you think?
The game looks amazing, bro. I'm super ecstatic for it. But the only questions I have is how many Street Fighter characters are gonna be in it. They showed
It's Tekken X Street Fighter, or is this just Tekken 7?
no. This is Tekken 7, bro. They showed Akuma from Street Fighter fighting one of the main characters from Tekken 7 from Tekken
Hold on,
universe.
man. Did you just pronounce Akuma's name like the same way?
Yeah,
You
no.
just went
Akuma
Akuma
and
and
Akuma.
then just said it faster to try to make it
No,
seem like
no.
you're saying it in its traditional Japanese sense. Man,
You know,
okay.
you know how I am.
I'm gonna let you continue, dog. I'm gonna let you
You
continue.
know
My
how I
bad, my
am. But no, it intrigues me because I want to see what other characters they add. The combat looked the same as a normal Tekken does. A not a slow pace, but a rather relaxed pace. But they showed quick time events, which I'm not too fond of in a fighting game because it can come redundant, if you know what I mean. Like if you learn, a character's timing, you can basically kind of cock block by quick timing or setting something up to where it sets up a quick time. And latency would probably come in an issue when you're playing multiplayer online. But the game looks really good. I'm excited to see more.
What's the quick time for?
I don't know. They were showing like where they were fighting, and it seemed like they were trying to do their super move at the same time, and they both kind of stumbled, or either one of them stumbled. They showed it 3 or 4 times, and they showed different variations of it, and it just seems like if that were to happen, it would feel like redundant, like because the thing about Street Fighter is everything has timing, and if your timing is good, there's nothing the other guy can do. This game seems like it's less, or what's the word I'm looking for? It'd be easier to cock block with certain moves. You understand what I'm saying? Like in Street Fighter,
It's so it's easier to counter certain movements and things like that using this system.
correct.
But that isn't. I mean, you're comparing it to Street Fighter. Tekken and Street Fighter don't control the same way.
Well, of
So
course not.
is this a Tekken game with Street Fighter characters, or is this a Street Fighter game with Tekken characters in it?
It's a Tekken game with Street Fighter characters in it.
Okay,
So it
it
plays like Tekken. Like to what I've seen, it plays exactly like Tekken.
okay,
The Heihachi, which is the one of the big characters,
yeah,
he was in the trailer with Akuma,
the old
and
dude.
yeah, the old dude, and his moves look almost exactly the same to they've looked like in previous games, which is I'm fine by. So that's exciting, but I want to know what they're gonna do, what else they're gonna do. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, what they add, what kind of new mechanics they added to it. They have like a super bar, which I don't remember ever seeing any super bars in Tekken, which they probably did that to implement more Street Fighter characters. Um, but we'll move on. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 got pushed back. It's supposed to come out in January the 28th in the West. I'm not a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, but there's a lot of people who love that game. I understand why, but it's not my thing. But there's a couple games that I do want to mention, like games that I'm really looking forward to other than Tekken. I got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I didn't play much of a Xenoverse, the original, but I've played the Dragon Ball fighting games, and this game looks amazing. They show combat like versus combat. Combat looks amazing, super fluent, and they have a bunch of new like mechanics, like teleport mechanics look a lot different. The movement, the flying looks a lot different. The combos seemed a little more skill based than timing based, but who's to say? I mean, I didn't get the controller in my hand. But one of the coolest things, Pedro, 85 characters. There's going to be at least 85 characters in this game. That is massive. That's not including all the special variants of each character you can have. So we're talking anywhere from, 150 to 250 characters, different types of characters to play with, which is, I know you're not a big fighting game guy, but that's huge in the fighting game world. Metal Gear Survive. Now, originally I was with the majority of people complaining that Konami is basically trying to feed off of Kojima's Metal Gear legacy by putting out this game and hoping people play it and buy it because it's Metal Gear. It doesn't look that bad. They showed off some 4-player co-op tactical gameplay, which, Pedro, if you haven't looked at the trailer, look at the trailer. It's something we might be able to get into. They show like resource gathering, like in most like Minecraft, those type of games, mid mission. They show off some pretty cool weapons, like a slingshot that kind of debilitates zombies. They also allowing you to track multiple players on the map, which isn't a big deal, but they're making it a big deal because they showed it 3 or 4 times throughout the mission. Injuries are a big thing in the game. Like homeboy got attacked by a zombie laying on the ground, and he had busted up his leg, so he was like limping all around until he healed himself. And then that first part was more of a like a travel to and secure location, kind of like a reach this point and secure the location mission. And I guess there's multiple type missions in one game. And then they showed off another one, which was kind of like defend the secure location you just got to. And it was a horde. They showed like horde mode type gameplay. base building mechanic, which a lot of games are doing now. They added like crafting tables where you can make your weapons and equipment mid mission, which would be kind of cool. And my favorite part of the whole trailer, brother, was when the chick pulled out the bow. Now, I'm only saying this because I'm a huge bow fan, and I think that's kind of cool to be in a shooter game, a bow, because you can see me hiding out in the back of the map shooting people with the bow. But did you get to watch the trailer at all?
I have not.
You have not? Well, basically, the backlash is the game is a Metal Gear ripoff, or we want to say they're just making this game to live on the hype of Metal Gear and the zombie train. The game doesn't look that bad. I don't see why people are.
Essentially, this is just going to be like a VR mission, but like with a zombie twist to it, I would assume. And it's like, multiplayer, so you can play with different people and stuff like that.
It's got a lot of cool. It's got a lot of cool elements. I just hope they can pull it off correctly. If they pull it off correctly and the game runs smoothly, and the weapon balance and everything else is done well. Like if they polish this game could be a lot of fun. Granted, you'll find a lot of people who won't buy the game at all just because Kojima is not in it, and for them, they feel Metal Gear and Kojima go hand in hand. If Kojima is not part of it, then they want no part of the game, and I don't think that's the way you should look at it. I mean, yeah, Kojima was a huge part of the game, but I'm pretty sure when Kojima left, not everyone left with him. So, I'm pretty sure people who've created Metal Gear games for the last 15 years are creating this game as well. So, only time can tell. That game didn't have a release date. They said 2017, 2018. It's probably still like early in the processing. So, we'll see. But we'll go on to Telltale. Now, guys, I don't know if you know, Telltale is a huge, episodic game producer, which I've played plenty of their Telltale games. The only one I haven't played is the new one, which is Batman. Now, they are releasing a season pass disc for $30, and it came out on the 13th. It came out last Tuesday. Okay, so for $30, you get a premiere episode, which they're not saying what it is, just a premiere episode.
Premiere episode is the first episode, episode 1.
Is it? And then the rest of the episodes. So we're talking 5 episodes complete, or 5 episodes for $30.
Well, yeah, you get it's the same price that you do digitally. So what it is, right, is they're giving you the Telltale Batman the Telltale series in a physical copy, right? But they're giving you the season pass for the $30, which you can buy digitally. It's gonna include episode 1 that has been out for a couple weeks. We talked about that on the show. I liked it. I liked where it was going. Now, the issue with this is, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
no,
sir.
You're good, bro. I know this is all you. This is Batman, bro.
The issue with this release is not the fact that they gave a physical copy or physical option for people who like to collect games and want to have the game case and the disc and all that good stuff. The issue is they're providing you a disc with 2 hours of gameplay on it, and then every other episode you have to wait for it to come out. So, for example, this week, Batman the Telltale series came out with episode 2 yesterday. On a Tuesday, we're filming this we're recording this on Wednesday, by the way. That game's awesome, but if you purchased a disc on Thursday of last week or on Friday last week when it dropped, and expected to have 1 through 5 available immediately, you do not have that option. What you have is episode 1, and then you would get episode 2 on that Tuesday when it released, and then you would get episode 3 on that release date, episode 4 on that release date, and then episode 5 in late December, like they have it. The reason why they're doing that is they are still developing these games as they release one. So once they finish one, they move on, they put it out, and then they move on to developing the next episode of the game. This is a huge misstep because, and this is a problem that a lot of people have with gaming, is that once again you're releasing what is supposed to be a finished product, right?
Yeah,
Because
correct.
we as consumers are used to buying a disc, and if I'm going to buy a disc, whether it be $30 or $60, there better be a full game on it. Now I'm purchasing a disc with an hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay, and then the rest is essentially being promised to me at a later date. And to me, that just doesn't make sense to release at this moment because the entire series isn't out.
It's like a glorified Kickstarter, to me at least. That's how it feels to me. Is a glorified Kickstarter.
Yeah.
They're getting the $30 up front, so they can. I mean, which you can look at it either way. You can look at it at a negative point of view, or you can look at it at a positive point of view. Maybe if people are buying this, it'll speed up the whole developing process, because in past, like you said, they put out an episode. Once that episode's out, they move on to the next one. So, do you feel like they're doing this to help move along so they're on schedule, because they don't have enough they don't have enough money or resources to do it at a timely manner, and they're pushing this out early, because they're pushing this out early considering all the other ones have came towards like fourth, fifth episode before they put something like this out.
I mean, it's not a money thing. Telltale's huge. I mean, they hit the jackpot when they did an amazing job with The Walking Dead. They've done a great job with The Wolf Among Us. The Borderlands Telltale series was tremendous. I mean, they've got the Minecraft Telltale series that they're working on as well. And then, of course, they just landed Batman, which they're doing, again, a very, very good and, most importantly, a unique job with the origin story of Batman, which is super dope.
Give them a quick rundown so people who haven't played it can understand where you're coming from.
So the Telltale series of Batman is you're playing more of Bruce Wayne and kind of Batman as a detective, as opposed to that Arkham Knight, Arkham City tough guy superhero Batman, which is a very good change. Like we get to play as Bruce Wayne, which is super cool because you get to be in certain situations where you can be that suave rich guy, or the asshole snobby rich dude, however you want to play, or whatever you want Bruce Wayne to be. You're also going to kind of go back in time and see the origin story and break down what he remembers from when he saw his parents die, and little things start unraveling from his past that you haven't seen in comic books yet. And this story really does delve deep into the history of the Waynes in a way that no other medium has, and it's super interesting. Like I said, super unique, something that is if you're a fan of the comics, fan of that world, of that universe, I highly suggest you you play it, because it's gonna kind of change the way you look at that whole of that part of Bruce Wayne's life, and how it kind of affects the Gotham that Telltale wants to curate.
That's really exciting to hear the way you talk about that, because one thing the comics did leave out was his complete backstory, and Telltale to me seems like they're doing a hell of a job. So thumbs up to them. So in your opinion, are you gonna buy this disc just to have the disc, or are you gonna wait for the episodes?
Hell nah, man. I bought the digital cop. What I did was I bought episode 1, right? Because I heard that this was coming out, and I'm like, shit, man. If they're just gonna come out with a physical copy and give me all 5 episodes at once, I'll play this over the weekend and call it a day. $30, that's not a problem. I would essentially be repaying for episode 1, but I didn't care at that point because I thought I was going to get the rest of the episodes. The problem is that's not the case. You get episode 1, you get episode 2 a week after episode 1 comes out, and then you got to wait for 3, 4, and 5. So you're still essentially doing the same thing that you would had you purchased the digital copy. The only difference is now you have a physical disc and a physical case to put on the bookshelf, and it's not like you're getting anything else special, which is again The problem that I have with this is it was released too soon. It's not needed. It misleads the consumer that believes that, damn, I'm gonna go ahead and cheat the system basically and cop this because the finished game is on a disc. Because surely a developer and a publisher won't release a game that or won't release a disc that has no content in it, right? Like that
Yeah.
can't happen. This essentially that we get angry at Titanfall, at Destiny, at Star Wars Battlefront, at Evolve, these games that at the Division, these games that have come out that
Done. Aren't done.
aren't done. They're just not. They're not complete. They're shells of games, and we're like, this is what's wrong with gaming. And then Telltale comes out and one-ups all of them and says, I'm giving you episode 1, the 2-hour experience, and then you got to wait till I'm done with the rest of them. I don't care if you bought this disc or not.
Oh, yeah. So I don't agree with it either, Pedro.
It's terrible. It's who at Telltale would do this? Honestly, I understand you want to have something physical to have out for Batman Day, which was last Saturday. But if you're gonna have it out, have a complete game. And let me go buy this on Saturday on Batman Day and experience the entire Telltale series, the entire Batman Telltale series, or first season. You know, in one complete thing, not episode
Yeah.
1 and then have to wait till Tuesday for episode 2 and then have to wait till God knows when for episode 3, 4, and 5. Like that doesn't make sense.
No,
That is
not at all.
bad business.
It's. I mean, I think the only problem I have with this that it is misleading, because when I first read it, the first thing I thought was, well, they're releasing the whole thing together at once. They're wanting people to buy this, and then, people who don't want to spend the $30 up front buy the episodes. So now the way you talk about it, that's what infuriated me the most, because it doesn't say anywhere in the article or on the thing episodes available upon release. They just told you exactly what it is, a season pass disc. So it's just like the Battlefield 1 bundle, the collector's edition we talked about weeks ago. How they put out a bundle without the game. Remember that?
Yeah, which is terrible.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Companies, publishers, developers, stop doing this. Give us a $60 game that is complete and we can get at least 40 hours out of. I'm sorry, but some people would say more, but at least give us that. Give us a complete game that we can play for at least 40 hours. And Titanfall, the shell that it was, we played that game for a rather long time. We enjoyed the hell out of that game, so I will never complain about Titanfall, even though that game was completely bare bones when it came out. We still played the hell out of it, and then when they put the DLC out, we played it even more. So Titanfall is the exception, but that's also the core. The core of that game was so good that it was able to hook us. And just so our listeners know, we're very tough cookies. We when we buy our games, we're very, very selective. And when we do buy them and we don't like them, we all switch. And that's easy as that. We play as a group, we stay as a group. And if the game doesn't hook one of us, we all find another game to play. So publishers, developers, get it right. Don't do this shit anymore. Don't try to sell us half games. Don't try to sell us wishes and dreams. But we're gonna go on right to the next one, Pedro. There's not much else going on really. There's we got a couple things we want to jump into really quick. I know you don't really keep up on this, but some people do. You got No Man's Sky. I got an update. It's not what everyone was looking for. It fixed some exploits that people are using. Exploits to stack items and freely move about the galaxy to find nothing in the middle. But faster saves, improved graphics, sounds, they fixed a little bit, which isn't that crazy of an update, but big ups, thumbs up to Hello Games. They're actually trying to fix the game. I give them that credit. But then just the other day, Xbox released like a like an Xbox Live game thread on their forums. 32 free games this month, Pedro. They're talking, which a lot of those games are free to play. So if you guys are looking for a game to keep you tied over till the holiday season, Xbox definitely has some games for you. I'll give you a quick rundown. You have Air Mech Arena, APB Reloaded, Battle Islands, DC Universe, Frozen Freefall, games are Gems of Wars, Happy Dungeons, Happy Wars, Hawken, Lies of Azeroth, Magic Duels, Neverwinter, Onigiri, Prominence Poker, Roblox, Smite, Star Trek Online, Warframe, World of Tanks, and then the free games of the month are Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Mirror's Edge, Earthlock, and Splosion Man. Now that's a huge number of free games. Not very much of them I would even bother playing because they're free to play titles, but there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also a lot of card type games that are on that list. Lies of Azeroth, Magic Duels, Neverwinter, Prominence Poker, and there's one more. I'm missing it. Frozen Freefall, I think, is another card game. So that's 5 card games in just that one list. But then you have games that I would try would be Onigiri, free. It's a free-to-play MMO for anime fans and MMO fans. If you like those kind of games, check it out. It's free. World of Tank, which I've played for hours upon hours when it first came to the Xbox. That's pretty cool. Smite, which is a MOBA-style game, but in third person, kind of like League of Legends, guys. If you're into that and you have an Xbox One, give it a try. It's actually pretty cool. It's based upon Greek mythology. Hawken, which is a first-person mech shooter, I should say. You're in a mech, kind of like Chrome Hounds, but it's Call of Duty style. And then Warframe, Pedro, we might have to check out. It's a free-to-play third-person crisis-type co-op shooter. It's a little old. The graphics aren't the best, but it's basically Crisis, but co-op shooter. So you guys give that a check. Did you take a look at the list, Pedro?
Yeah, I took a look at the list. I mean, the one that stands out to me is they're giving you a teaser of Game of Thrones episode 1, Iron from Ice, which is a super dope beginning. Resident Evil 2 Revelations episode 1 is also pretty dope. Tales for the Borderlands episode 1 as well. Again, they're just giving you kind of little teasers of here and there of dope games that'll kind of have you wanting to purchase the rest of the season when it comes out.
Well, that's a lot of games to play, wouldn't you say?
I mean, yeah, they're definitely giving you, options in terms of what to play. None of those games really call out my name, but then again, free is free, so you
Yeah.
kind of get what you pay for when it comes to that. I'm not one of these people that's going to expect AAA quality games for free, because that's unrealistic, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's some free games, guys. Warframe is probably the most successful out of all of those games, next to World of Tanks. Now that I think about it, make sure you give those two a try if you like tank shooters. World of Tanks is a fantastic game. I loved it, and I do plan on playing more of it soon whenever I get time. Warframe I'm gonna have to check out. It got really high ratings. It's been out for a while. Most of you guys know it's from the PC. But other than that, we got some games coming out games that came out this week. Shin Megami Tensei, Tensei Apocalypse came out on the 20th of September, and Batman, the second episode, which we talked about earlier, came out. Did you get to play that yet, Drew?
Which one?
The new second episode of Batman.
Yeah, I played it. It was awesome. Like I said, it does delve deeper into the origin story. He kind of goes over what he remembers from that fateful night when his parents got shot, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, no spoilers. He's actually being spoiler-free, guys. That's only with Batman, guys. Remember that. Batman gets spoiler-free treatment. But I think that's about all we got this week, Pedro. Is there anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, as always, check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Square Gamers. That's our brand page. You can check out the latest episodes of EDG Weekly. Our latest podcast is going to be up there. We're hooking it up with funny memes, both of video and photographic quality. Check out our YouTube page as well. Mike's been hard at work and frustratingly and painstakingly walking you through
Oh,
Dark Souls 3. So definitely check that out if you guys want to torture yourselves by watching someone else torture himself by playing the hardest game out at the moment. That
today.
should be it. Oh, go Broncos, go Jets, Patriots suck, Chiefs suck. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Make sure you stay tuned because the new episode will be going up tonight. So make sure you guys give that a look. Make sure you go to our Facebook page / the Square Gamers. Go to our group page, Facebook /group / the Square Gamers. Guys, come join the conversation. Have a good time. And that is all for tonight, guys. So peace out.